they haven't cleared me to wrestle yet because basically they did a bunch of like baseline concussion tests and kind of head trauma tests, and I wish you could have seen their reaction. They were like, "Holy fuck, what happened to you?" You know, I was really worried because I feel fine. I've always thought I was fine, but they were really concerned. It was like one medic, two medic. They called in another medic. Kind of had like a whole team around at one point. Just they were staring at the results sheet, not really saying much. And they were like, "Fucking hell, man, you've been hit in the head quite a lot, haven't you? You know, like couple of things wrong with you, young man. Yeah, you know, these shots, by the way, of me. This is just for a friend's brand photo shoot, so that's why there's just a lot of the same shit where it's just me like staring off into the mirror. I'm not that much of a narcissist. I mean, I used to really believe I was narcissistic. I openly admitted it. I spoke about it. I almost flexed it a little bit, but to be honest, I really don't think I am. I don't know about you guys, but sometimes I really, really, you know, you can really hate the decisions you've made, and you can really dislike yourself. You know what I mean? You can really feel, you really don't, yeah. I just know for a fact there's no one out there on this planet that hates me as much as I do. That's why I've made so many bad choices in life, and I've done so many stupid things which I wouldn't have even done just because of self-hatred. It's a real killer. So maybe that's what I think I was trying to get at in my last video was, you know, we can be a little more accepting once we realize like this person might be an absolute prick, but it might be a cry for help. You know, I never personally would say my situation was like that, but I mean, seeing how a lot of my bad decisions and a lot of my bad judgment was just the product of, it's not even an insecurity. I just, fucking hate myself so much. So then you start to think like, maybe not everyone is bad. Maybe they're just going through a little phase. That's all. Now, obviously, if someone rapes a child, they have to die. But if they, I don't know, shot you a dirty look at work and made you feel a bit shit for 5 minutes, just don't leave it at the surface level. Do you know what I mean? There might be something, I don't know. Not using myself as an example. I haven't been through shit. I'm sweeter than grandma's cookies. I mean, like, in general. Yeah, they did a neurologist on the phone. They got a bunch of, they've kind of been, they're just doing their job. They're not doing anything bad. They're just very concerned with my mental well-being. They think there's quite a few things wrong with me. And I'm in denial, to be honest. I can't say that I agree with them. I think they just said you've definitely suffered a lot of head trauma and it's clearly had effects on you. You're not fucking stupid. You're just, they were saying you have therapy, do you have a bunch of this stuff and that. I was like, really fucking good because I am. It's not that bad. I have nothing. I'm not depressed and none of these things. And I'm very reflective. I would pick up on it in a second if I was. And I would talk about it. I would let someone know. I would let a professional know. But yeah, that's also what being in denial is I just don't see it. And that's probably exactly what an insane person said. They really said, like, you are, we haven't seen readings like this before, Marcus. And, we work with a lot of boxers who have had a lot of more concussions than you. And I don't think it's the head trauma. I think it's the amount of fuckery life handed my mum and me watching it, kind of sitting through all of it, watching it, half the time not being able to do anything. The mental torment that gave me, you can get hit in the head as many times as you want. And YouTube's not the place to discuss that place. And it's also not really my place to talk about it because it's my mum who suffered, not me. I'm not making this about me or like, maybe I am. Maybe I am a narcissistic little fuck. But let's be real. I don't know, I'm just saying, I don't know. I don't actually know where I was going with that, but to be completely honest, I just felt like I was in a fucking straitjacket for a long time, seeing bullshit get handed to a human being I love, and I can't do anything about it because I've made a name for myself. I breathe differently. The UK fucking government knows all about it. There's police at my door. Until I came to Florida, every day for around 4 months, I lived with police officers at my house. And maybe one day I'll talk about the situation. It's nowhere near as bad as it sounds, but it put me on the fucking back foot. I was late to the gym. I was late to this. Fuck, I was supposed to have this meal at this time. I'm supposed to be eating every 2 hours to get ready for this video shoot, for this advert that I'm doing for my fragrance brand. I need to look, all of these different things. I had a lot of plans because I have a lot of potential. And I'm going to put pressure on myself because I know I can carry a lot of businesses and a lot of genuine entertainment, sports, anything. I can carry it on my back. I'm the person who can do that. I truly believe. I'm fucking delusional enough to believe that I can be that guy. The problem is, it's not fucking up to me sometimes, okay? Unless I'm going to break the fucking law. And even then, there's just not ways around it. Genuinely, if I was a nobody, it would even be the same fucking thing. And it's like I've got this muzzle around my mouth. I'm in a straitjacket watching the most tedious rage bait happen in front of me, and I actually have to sit there and take it. I don't know. The Shaolin training really helped, and that's where I probably got a lot of the head trauma that these guys are talking about. And that really relieved a lot of fucking stress off my mind, because when you're so physically tired, you're lying on the floor, you're sure you've actually just died. There were so many times I figured I had died and come back to life. I was so sure of it. That's how, I trained so hard. I vomited and shat myself at the same time. Not many people, actually, I don't think anyone, apart from like maybe 5 other people on this planet, can say that and not be lying. Okay? That's a serious thing. Bearing in mind I have a condition which means I can't vomit. I have RCPD. But even then, I took the video down, I put it back up, because like, what the fuck, if there's 10 people out there if there's one person out there that gets inspired by that and thinks, maybe there is ways around how badly I feel right now and how suffocated I feel right now, then fine. My job's done. I made a good difference. I've done a lot of bad things in my life. It doesn't mean I can't do good things. Tell you what pisses me off about that is people just deny the fact that I even went. They say you went for 1 day, you filmed with the Shaolin monks for 1 day, and you did it for content because you're an influencer. I was never an influencer. I was never a good influence. Okay, I accidentally got a Gymshark sponsorship and became one of 66 athletes in the world because I don't know. Let's be real, I was a controversy hire. I wasn't going to make Gymshark money, and I don't even have 500,000 followers, let alone 1 million followers. I never pulled in even 100,000 views on a single video. Okay, I'm not good at the Instagram, the TikTok. I'm not good at that shit. So you tell me, okay? But whatever, the fact is, people can believe what they want. It doesn't make a fucking difference as to what it did for me. And the thing is, people will see someone had a cooler upbringing than them, or living maybe a more movie style lifestyle than they are, and their coping mechanism is it didn't happen, because there's always going to be thousands and millions of people to say that before one person says maybe that did happen, because people are so stuck up and fucking unhappy. Not in the way that I'm unhappy. I'm unhappy in the cool way, where you can get shit done and use it for great, beautiful things, like a career, like becoming a superstar. But there are people out there that sit on their fucking phone all day. We were told this in a lot of these meetings before, we were supposed to be training at the Performance Center for WWE, but obviously I've been held back a bit, which is fine. The medics aren't. They're just doing their job. I'd rather they do their job than just disregard me. I didn't realize there was something there. That just shows that they care and that they're good at their job, because they picked up something that no one else could see. It's the thing. It's hard for someone like me to want to keep pushing out content, putting videos on the internet every day at this point, because I don't need to. There are a couple guys out there, and maybe, I don't know, I've actually got a couple of female fans. I've actually got a lot of, I've got a lot of fans. This is fucking cool. I'll be at the gym. It's like a lot of people come out. Like, I'm sometimes thinking like, damn, that was like 35 people who asked me for photos today. And I wasn't even near a gym. I was in a grocery store, and then I was like, look at me saying grocery store instead of supermarket. I'm already American. It's already happened. It's great. So I wouldn't change it for a fucking thing. And that's why I do this. It's because we've got like an army of us now. There's people this is a thing. It's bizarre. I've had it since I was 15. I've been technically, been signing stuff since I was 15, because I was a model and I was a powerlifter, and I was trying to go pro in rugby. But now it's kind of a quiet spot in my life where when it happens, I don't even see you guys like fans. I see you guys just like friends coming up to me like, what's up? Nice video last night, mate. I got through 5 minutes and then I went fucking insane and had to stop listening. It's like, yeah, same. It's just brilliant. I think it's so brilliant that this is a fucking reality. I don't know. I've gotten past the point. Maybe this is what the monks drilled into me was, I just don't know if I do have an ego anymore. Maybe I have an ego by saying that. But shit, I used to, fans outside, I'll go sign their shit. Now it's just like, the homies are outside. I'm gonna go talk to them. I'm gonna go get to know them. I want to hear your backstories. I want to see why you got into training and what you train and why you train. Are you doing it for a sport, mental health, all of this stuff? Like, I don't know. Fuck, I'm in the same position you guys are in. It's funny. But it almost annoys me when people deny me my hard work that I put in at the Shaolin temple. It almost annoys me. It would, but it's online, so I can't. No one says it to me in real life. No one even questions me in real life, so that's like, okay. Honestly, at the performance center, they just think I'm unstable, and no one really makes eye contact with me or talks to me because they think I've been hit in the head one too many times, and I walk in the room, I can tell straight away. Everyone's like, that's the fucking crazy guy. He's the schizophrenic. He came back from China with a shaved head. He was a supermodel before, and now he's fucking nuts. So just pinch of salt, whatever he says or does around you, It's quite funny. That's how I feel. I feel like they should talk to me. They'll realize maybe I am actually a nice person in my books, but they just assume the worst. And I also can't blame them for that because everyone started training and now I'm just some random fucker who keeps turning up for a concussion test and then I leave the performance center. I don't train. I don't talk to anyone. I just bring my meal prep in, bring my meal prep out. The Shaolin had an elder. So in the temples, there's some elders who are really fucking old, like wispy ass Asian beards and shit, just super fucking old. And he used Google Translate the one time they did. I mean, we used it a couple times. The one time, like he did, he goes, "You understand? You're more likely to die from this next few months than survive the training. And you're never gonna be able to do the training. Like you won't be able to become a monk. You could try your best in the training and that you could try your best to complete the training and that will most likely it's more possible you're going to die by doing so than you try and just fail." He said this isn't just like you go into the gym and you lift a weight. Oh, you couldn't lift it, it's fine. So, if you mess up, you could die of the cold because we're in the mountains. If you don't get down in time, or if you stop moving your body because your muscles are so tired, your body's burning to the point where you can't move anymore and you just go still, then the cold will bite you. And because you're not moving, you will die. It's like you either die of fatigue by overtraining or you're most likely going to die of the cold because you stop moving. He said you need to be cool with this, or you can just sit inside and we can meditate with you and teach you meditation. And you can try and learn meditation and you can get halfway max, but that's really it. These were all the things. He did a big paragraph on Google Translate. Took his old ass like 45 fucking minutes, bro. I'm just sitting there thinking, what are you going to do? Fucking kill me? Good luck. I'd like to see you try. I couldn't, I was on some Bruce Banner shit at the time. I got really low. I didn't see an end. So, I put a bullet in my mouth and the other guy spat it out. It was one of those things, one of those Bruce Banner scenarios. I was just thinking, this is an escape, so this is good. I was looking for an excuse that doesn't reflect badly on me. And this is when I need you guys to listen up because this could help one of you if you're, even if it's just one, and you're feeling in a certain way, you're just suffocated, mate. And you really are looking for that out. You don't want to make it look a certain way and hurt people. So you're just looking for an excuse. Maybe it's a train. I don't know. Maybe it can't be drugs. You can't let people know you did it on purpose. But, mate, you're not ending the pain. You're shifting it to those who love you. And the whole point of depression and suicide is that you think that no one will care when you do it and that you're not affecting anyone. That's why it's called the coward's way out. That's why it's called the selfish way out. And you just think you're being nice to yourself. Oh yeah, I'm being selfish, I'm being a coward, but I deserve to be because I'm in so much fucking pain, Marcus. I can't take this anymore. You know, I've just got to die for my younger self. That's not the fucking point. You've missed the whole point. The point is you need to live for your younger self. You don't die for your younger self. You need to become the man or the woman that little kid wanted to become. And if you're not doing that, depressed or not, you are shitting on that child. You're just taking his dream away from him. So no wonder you're unhappy. I'm telling you right now, you found a door. This is when you need to listen up. You found a door. Now, people think this suicidal thoughts and this depression, this is the end. So you've got to the door, okay? Instead of, you've got the key. You've had the key your whole life, and now you finally made it to the fucking door. No one, pretty much anyone you know, can relate to that journey you've just made to get to that door. And now you're about to end the journey before even seeing what's on the other side. Everyone thinks to get to the other side, they just got to kill themselves. They're so fucking unhappy. That's not the point. The point is you've now gotten to a point where you've been handed so much pain. Not just pain. It's this disgusting level of suffocation. You really can't take it anymore. And I'm not joking, Marcus. I really can't do this. Like, this is different. This is bad. I am suicidal, but it's okay because I'm justifying it. It's not, because you've now gone to the door. Ending it means that you're about to miss out on pretty much the best part of life, okay? Is the door opens, you don't give a fuck anymore. You're in so much pain. You start caring less and less about maybe moral standpoints and what people think of you, or I don't know, how you spend your money, how you dress. Fuck, it takes like half an hour to get ready in the morning because my crush goes to my school and I want to look good for her. If you want to kill yourself, you just start wearing what the fuck you want. You start being expressive in your own character. You've got to a point now where you're about to start living life to the fullest because you've gotten past that down point. And it can only go up from there. And I'll tell you this right now, mate. It only goes up from there and it never comes back down since. You just have to make the choice to stay alive and do yourself a favor and start living life to the fullest. This has given you the realization of how unhappy you are when you live life in a certain way. So start living it your way and no other way. And you might think you don't have that choice. You might think you don't have that excuse. Oh, it's easy for you to say, Marcus. It's not. Okay? I only put barely anything out there about me. I need you to understand, you've got this in the bag, okay? You will thank yourself from now in the future. Please, just make the right decision. There is a certain caliber of human being who can only relate to living a certain way, but they have to go through a certain amount of fuckery which they didn't ask for and that they would have never asked for, okay? See it this way. You're a tree. You want your branches to reach heaven, and be so fruitful. Unfortunately, for that to happen, your roots have to reach hell. They have to go all the way down to hell so you can reach all the way up to heaven. The roots come first, okay? You don't just grow and then like the foundation comes later. Certain nice people who do good in the world and who are the change that they want to see in the world, therefore they live with such fulfillment. They don't need money, fame, Instagram followers, girls. They don't need anything but themselves for validation. It's because they've been through a certain amount of shit, which is unfair, okay? There's been times, I can't tell you how many times I've really thought, fuck this. And it's never gonna get better than this, so what am I doing? It gets so much better, you don't understand. So just take my word for it. If this is the one thing you guys listen to that I've ever said in how many years of making stupid videos on the internet, please let it be this bit, okay? But hopefully none of you needed to hear that. Essentially, you've been given a gift. That's what I'm trying to tell you, is you have been... we see pain like this bad thing. This is fucking horrible, and it is. That's how it feels. It's kind of the whole point. But that's the process. See it this way. Your girlfriend broke up with you, and you really fucking can't believe how shit you feel. you're lovesick. You lay in bed and you can't move. Okay, this is where the process kicks in. Now, address it. Stay in bed. Understand how you're feeling. Don't fight it. Okay, understand why you're feeling this way. You need to be stoic. You need to be more than ever disassociating from your body and think from an outsider's POV. What is happening to me right now? Why do I feel like this? Address it and be as brutal as it is. It could be, I don't know. That could be an answer, by the way. That's like a fucking... Every time I hear, by the way, I think of the same human being, by the way, edits. These fucking fan pages are pulling in more views than I could, bro. I'm thinking of hiring them, by the way. I'm probably make a TikTok on this tomorrow or something. I've actually forgotten my login, so I haven't been on TikTok for a minute, but I'll log back in. You guys that watch it and make the fan edits and stuff, I'm trying to hire you to make videos on my main page. I'll just give you a login. I'll take away all the drafts and make sure you can't access my camera from the fucking app, but it's all yours, mate. Because again, I've got lots of fans now and they want to see content and I don't make content. What I'm trying to say is there are only so many, there are certain things you will only achieve when you go through enough pain. If someone can't bring themselves to be as hardworking as you, it's usually because they just haven't been handed enough of an ass beating in life. It's such an interesting concept to me, but this is when I kind of stopped taking advice from older people. This is kind of when I stopped taking advice from older people, trying to tell me what to do. If they're not in the position I want to be in, unless it was I wish I did this when I was younger. A lot of the times, they're really self-entitled and they think they can give you advice somehow. They just really can't. And I hope you know that. If you've been handed a certain amount of bullshit in life, you're probably capable. You're definitely way more capable than the average human being. So it is a gift, okay? It usually all starts with the breakup. This is the first bit of pain, if you're lucky enough. This is like dream case scenario. You get broken up with, a girl cheats on you or something. I've never personally been cheated on. I've never cheated on anyone. I got my heart broken. That's so vanilla compared to the other shit that I might open up about one day in the future, only because it will help people. I always felt like when I was going through some bullshit and someone could tell me a similar situation, it makes me feel better. I'm not the only motherfucking person feeling this way. So that's another reason for you to maybe, take it into account, is it puts you in a certain class of people. I'm not saying we're better than other people. I'm saying it's harder to relate to a lot of people whose life has just been sunshine and fucking rainbows. So that's a thing. Don't beat yourself up and see this whole I've been handed so much bullshit in life and I am sad and life is so unfair. You've been given a damn gift to be able to use this hatred, this sadness. It is so much more effective as fuel towards your goals than happiness and love and all of this stuff. Okay, happiness is like water. Love is like maybe petrol. But hate, depression, suicidal thoughts, that's diesel. If you have that in your tank, if you know how to fill up your car with that shit, you're going to go way further down the road than water or petrol could take you. You're going to go further with diesel. And yeah, it's worse for the environment. This is such a sick fucking comparison because it's true. Diesel's worse for the environment. A lot of the time, because you're depressed, because you're using diesel, because you're using those suicidal thoughts, you're going to hurt more people around you. You're going to hurt the environment more than you would if you were using love and happiness as an emotional fuel. But sometimes you need to do these things for yourself. That doesn't mean killing yourself. That doesn't mean committing suicide. That means taking the wheel, putting your foot on the accelerator. Okay? You decide where to go. Trust me. It's not with a bullet in your fucking head. It's definitely not that. Trust me, you don't understand what you're missing out on now that you've seen the world in this way. You're so close, I can't explain it to you. Just don't let yourself down.